In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome everybody to another episode of the Genius Brain Podcast in our new podcast office. We are moving on the fuck up.
Wow.
Yeah, man. So I've been, I think Mariel got a little tired of me bringing strangers into the house.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, not only that, you know, like y'all can't get any private time, so I totally understand, man. But I actually like the fact that we have an office now because it feels professional.
It feels professional, but I still dressed it up like a living room.
Hey, you're on brand, dude. Don't make the same mistake we did. We fucking went hardcore. We spent hundreds of thousands of dollars building that fucking JK News set, right? Only to find out 80% of our fans absolutely hated it. But low-key, though, I fucking hated it, too.
Okay, so for people who don't have never watched JK News, which if you guys don't know what that is, so there's some people who have been watching that, finding about this podcast without knowing who we are.
Oh, okay.
So Joe and I are YouTubers. Originally, that's what we started at, and so there was this channel called JK News that's still going on today. That's fucking really dope.
And David was a big part of that. You know, we it's just basically we get together, we talk in a circle, and we talk about the news. That's all it is.
Exactly. And so, you know, when the channel started doing really well, you know, I think for our personal dreams, we're like, okay, let's fucking step this game up. And, you know, Bart and Joe wanted to take it to the next level, which was like fucking lobs, lights, cameras, action, doing all this shit. Because the channel was doing so well, we released one episode and everybody thought it sucked dick. It was so much money.
It was pretty bad.
Like, I didn't realize how much people hated it. They were like, yeah, we fucking hate this setup. It's so weird.
And I mean, it's very distant too.
Yeah.
And it feels cold, like a news set. Like it took all the elements of what made JK News great, like the closeness and the depth, and then the YouTube real raw feel.
Yeah.
And it took it into a corporate space, and it made it seem so stale. And I was like, fuck, we fucked up, because I think that was our first lesson in not being able to understand our fan base. And looking back, I think it's like everyone goes to this stage, right, of business development. Like there's a stage where you kind of satisfy your ego.
Yeah.
And you're like, we're coming up now. So like we need to be fancy now. We need to do a lot of things. But in reality, like all we had to do is probably make the set look a little bit better. You know, like there's probably just a few tweaks we needed to do, but people came for the channel for the realness of it.
Yeah.
And what we did is we took that realness out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was a hard lesson learned, and you know, I just take it as a loss and go. But that's the one thing about, I guess, business ownership is you have to kind of like realize the losses and can you stomach the pain, because it doesn't just always go up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the good life lesson for us anyways, and for you guys too, was just it was that satisfying ego part that was really hard.
Yeah.
Even for me, like on the channel, I stopped doing these, you know, channel vlogs and stuff at a certain point, because like, oh, I should be doing something better. But the reason why people were coming onto this channel was because people wanted to see that stuff.
Yeah.
They like that personability. They like those videos. Now, I don't do it as much now, not because I don't want to do it. I started trying doing it again. It's just now we're taking that content and putting it to podcast stuff, which for me is better, because instead of having sound bites, I could thoroughly explain myself.
Yeah, I think like where you do best is when you're able to like really marinate on a topic and talk about it without a time restraint.
Yeah.
Because a lot of things get taken out of context and you can't really explain yourself fully. So that's what probably happened a lot on JK News. It's like we only got like 12 minutes and there's 6 people fighting for attention.
Yeah.
And sometimes we don't do a good job, you know, explaining everything, and then there's backlash or whatever. But with a podcast, we got as much time as we want.
Exactly. So we have a thought, and we could thoroughly explain the process to how we got to our conclusion. And if somebody has a different thought process behind it, which still fucking happens now, where people don't listen to the full podcast and they only hear a part of it,
God.
and they get upset. So I had Chris Sosa on here, right? And it's funny too, because it was a really great podcast. It just came out recently where he was talking about his cheating. So Chris cheated on his girlfriend twice.
Oh shit.
And she stuck around and she's trying to help better him and figure out why he's doing this.
Wow, what a good woman.
Yeah, yeah, and and I think a lot of people have, in the comments, they're like, "Oh, he doesn't deserve her. They're gonna break up either way. They don't know what a healthy relationship is." And what I'm finding out too is that when they listen to the podcast, sometimes people get heated up because they've been through those personal experiences themselves, and they write the comment before they actually get to hear the whole podcast.
Yeah,
so
they're like talking as if while they're listening.
I think so, yeah. And it's like, well, he's not taking responsibility. Yeah, he is taking responsibility. If you listen to the whole podcast, he's taking responsibility, and he's very grateful to have somebody who will stick around with him, even though he's broken. And so, like, I read this comment, which was kind of irritating, in the sense of how naive this person was. They were like, this is why you don't get together people who aren't complete projects. It's like, oh, people are complete projects. That's how you view things.
Like, you find a perfect person.
Exactly. It's like,
every person is a broken piece of shit bag. Like, what are you talking about, fool?
Exactly.
Have you lived life? Name me one person who doesn't have trauma, baggage, issues. Everybody got something.
Yeah,
you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, and when I fucking read that, I was like, it's funny because you're saying good luck to them in a sarcastic way, as in, oh, good luck finding anybody to be with somebody like you. And I'm thinking to you, like, good luck you finding somebody to be with. Somebody has to be with you. A human being who judges somebody based on them being a perfect person, which doesn't exist.
It doesn't.
Good luck to whoever you're with.
That's probably just an incel that's never been in a relationship.
1,000%, dude.
They have this false fucking imagery of what a person is, and
it's like, even to call somebody a perfect project, it's like, is that how you view people that you're with? It's a very weird thing to say. It's like, you're going to find out too, when you get with somebody, you have this image of what you think perfection is. And then when you fall in love, you find out that your vision of perfection was wrong. And that person is going to instill life lessons in you, just like you will for them. And that's the funny thing. It's like, everybody has this weird thought of what they think that they want, but you don't know until you're in the thick of it. Because me growing up,
true.
Even some of my friends are like, yo, I would have never thought that you would have ended up with a girl like Mario. Because the type of women that I dated.
Yeah.
So it was like, I would have never thought too.
Yeah.
Like, I would have never thought it would have been this Korean girl that's, she's very goofy and stuff, but she like loves Disney. She's very innocent. That's not the women that people usually saw me with. But I never knew what I wanted until it was presented to me. And I didn't have this concept of her having to be a perfect human being. We just kind of grew together and we figured it out as we went. You know?
That's true. And I think it's a part of maturity too, because like when the early stages, you're like, oh man, that girl premium. And you're just looking at her looks.
Yeah.
Like guys are fucking idiots, dude. Like, we'll be like, oh man, she's so fine. And then you value women from their looks. You go, oh, you could do better, homie. It's like, what are you talking about better? Like, she might be hot as hell, but she might be really fucked up in the head. Yeah. You don't know. Is that better? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you're just thinking about sex, maybe. But then there's so many to it, right? But then in the very beginning stages, you're like, I want some perfect grade A pussy. You say some stupid shit, right? Well, at least the guys I was around, they were like straight brutes.
I think most guys were like that.
Yeah. And then later on, you go, oh my God, like, relationships. You want someone to balance you out. You want someone who's a life partner. And most guys, I think they're just literally thinking from their dicks. Yeah. And as much as guys say, no, I don't. I'm nice. I want romance. You're still thinking from your fucking dick, because there's a lot of guys out there that are like falling in love and already planning marriage and already so fucking obsessed with a girl that they shouldn't even be with.
Oh, 100%.
But they're convincing themselves that they're like, oh, we're so in love. And a girl's like, either like, I didn't even know you liked me like that. Or, they're actually in a relationship and she's not the right one, but she's the only one that'll keep his dick wet. So he's just so sprung on it. Yeah. It's fucking ridiculous, dude. A lot of people shouldn't be together, but they are.
There was this one girl that I was with. I think I talked about it with Gabo when he was here. But this girl's fucking buff. This bitch.
She lifted you up?
Dog, I think, so the first time I ever met her, she was wearing she lifted me up. That'd be fucking funny. I met her at Halloween, and she was wearing this naughty nun outfit, and that's all it took.
Wow.
And I was like,
mean, that's all it sometimes takes for me now.
I was like, I want this bitch. That's the first thing I thought.
Be like, something about you. I think you're marriage material.
Yeah.
I want you.
And she was like the most damaged human being I've ever been with in my life.
It makes it tough, man.
Dog, first of all, a lot of pressure. She was like, when we first started dating, she goes, you know, you're the only Asian person I've been with. And she's a Filipino girl. I was like, well, who else you been with? She goes, only black guys. I was like, well, you're going to be surprised. Let me show you the size difference, lady. You're maybe 6'1", but the dick don't match the rest of it. So she was like, I was her first non-black boyfriend.
Wow.
Ever. Right. So I was like,
she had a black fetish, or she just grew up around black guys.
Nah, I
like,
think she just liked black dudes.
Oh.
That was like her shit. So like she was, and when we were going out, I started to realize, number one, like she had daddy issues.
Oh.
She grew up in a very cultish type of religion. It was,
Yeah.
you know, like it's like a form of Christianity. It's like a Filipino one, Iglesia.
Oh,
something.
yeah.
Yes.
That one.
So there, I guess from what she was telling me, and you know, if you are of this religion and it offends you, but what the fuck can I tell you? I don't know. This is based on my memory. But they were like, there's like this whole thing of like, whoever donates more money has more power in the church and type of shit like that. And so
which is most religions.
Yeah. So she had like this whole weird, and also too, like, if you're in that religion, there was another girl in my school that was also part of that religion. A lot of Filipino people are part of it, but you couldn't dance with somebody else and you couldn't touch.
Wow.
So when she would go to prom and stuff, I always thought it was weird that she wouldn't dance with anybody. It's because it was against her religion. She wasn't allowed to dance with anybody.
What's up with these religions sucking the fun out of life?
I don't fucking know, dude.
Why do cults love doing that shit? Let me take everything that's joyful and fucking make it not allowed. Like, make it illegal.
Yeah, she couldn't dance. She couldn't like have any type of physical touch or some shit like that. And so that's what she was a part of. But she and I went through some fucking drama because she was so damaged that the only way she equated affection was through sex. Now you would think
that's wonderful.
As a young person, you would love that shit, right? But she wanted to fuck all the fucking time.
Oh, she was too horny.
And I was doing stand up.
Yeah.
I was working
tired.
2 jobs and I was a full-time student.
That's a lot of young man work, man. I was too lazy. I would have been like, yeah, let's fuck all the time, which I did at that age.
I was too tired, dude.
Yeah.
And so like for her, she felt like, you know, she didn't feel attractive because we weren't like physically.
Oh.
When we first started, it was like that too. But then I would be sacrificing, you know, slots doing stand up, just hanging out with her.
I did notice that about women that are really good looking is they're so used to guys just fucking
wanting them.
They don't have to work. They're
don't.
just constantly wanting to fuck the crap out of them. So so if you don't give them that same attention, like they don't feel worthy anymore.
They don't feel value.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy,
Yeah,
man.
it's like, you know, it's just a weird thing. Whatever has happened to her when she was younger probably affected how she views herself as a woman now.
I think the woman I'm gonna marry is probably gonna be ugly as fuck,
Why did
but a
you say that?
complete genius.
You can't be. You can't have a pretty smart girl.
No, she's gonna be like super ugly, dude, and then but just like a complete fucking genius, like just amazingly brilliant.
You don't want somebody too smart though, man.
I want someone Stephen Hawking smart, dude.
What I mean by too smart is like you want somebody to at least understand you a little bit emotionally.
Oh well, I want them to be emotionally intelligent.
That's hard to have though.
It is, right? But like, I don't know, man. Trying to produce fucking future Nobel Peace Prize winners, you know what I mean? Like,
I find a lot of hyper intelligent people are emotionally fucking fucked.
Oh yeah,
they're all fucking emotionally fucked because it's like I think that's like God's balance. So he'll give you some shit, but he'll take away a lot of other stuff too. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
Because I think I'm more emotionally intelligent and I'm just more of a hard worker, right? But when it comes to like being hyper intelligent, I don't have the brain capacity for that shit. My brain shuts off. Like I don't even try to deal with that shit.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I don't even know what I want, man. I'm not even in that realm because, you know, the breakup's still fresh for me. Yeah, I was in Vietnam and like it was
you were nomad dog. You met the fucking the prince of fucking Vietnam. You met up with fucking
Yeah,
TK,
TK.
dude.
TK's fucking cool, man.
Yeah, dude.
TK, he built a club from scratch on a rooftop. I thought he was just a manager of a club.
No, I told you he was. Remember, I told you like if you meet up with TK, he's the Prince of Vietnam. Like people say that's Danny Doe.
No,
but it's TK.
It's different. Yeah, TK's cool, man. And you know, he showed me around. He took care of me. He got me a little hookup with the Sheraton and Nha Trang and shit. And I stayed for free. And
that's tight.
It was awesome, dude. Yeah, and you know, I feel like my value is just higher over there.
Yeah,
because one, like,
you're taller than everybody else. No. Yeah.
I'm actually average height and taller. Yeah, TK's a tall motherfucker. That was 6 foot something.
Yeah, he's tall. He's taller than me.
Yeah, but well, I think there's a lot of things working for me, right? It's the dating scene is just different. And I think that this kind of the way that people date in Asia is different from the way that they date in America.
Mm-hmm. This podcast is brought to you by Raycon, baby. Well, check this out, my friend. There's no need to get crazy this year. I'm letting you know ahead of time about an amazing Black Friday/Cyber Monday deal on something you're actually going to use every single day. A pair of wireless earbuds or headphones from Raycon. I have been using Raycon earbuds for a minute now. I walk daily, and on my daily walks, I need some music. I need some podcasting. I need some GeniusBrain podcasting. And I hate wires. I don't want a wire dangling about my face when I'm on these walks. And when I take it out and then I put it in my pocket, it's not going to get tangled up. So I always use my Raycon earbuds, specifically my Raycon E25s. The sound quality is great. And the great thing about Raycon earbuds is that you get high quality premium audio at about half the price. And they look really cool. So check out. The best deal in premium audio just got even better for Black Friday. And trust me, you do not want to sleep on this one. Go to buyraycon.com/brain to check out Raycon's Black Friday and Cyber Monday savings. I can't even tell you how good these deals will be. You will have to check them out on the site. That's buyraycon.com/brain to get an amazing Black Friday deal on Raycons. Buyraycon.com/brain.
Western style of dating is like, I think it's first and foremost, everyone's looking for love. Everyone's looking, well, aside from fucking around, right? If you're looking for a committed relationship, or, you know, maybe you want good company or whatever, like the ultimate goal is romance, love, and maybe like future commitments, right?
Yeah.
But there's passion behind it. Sure, there's gold digging here and there, but even gold diggers don't want to admit that they're gold digging. They want to hide that fact.
Yeah.
In Asia, girls are very fucking upfront.
Oh, it's like, I want your money.
They're, how much do you make? Fucking, like, can I marry this guy? Like, it is a very, and I realize, like, this has been a constant thing for every country that I've been to, like Hong Kong or China or like Vietnam or whatever. They're more bolder and more open when it comes to, what do you got for me? But not in that way. You know, they're gauging like their future with you. It's very transactional. It's very, and I think that love is a luxury of the rich. Like only rich people have this freedom to pursue, you know, romance and love in that way. It's just expressed differently, dude.
You know what's so funny? Every time I hear the story about an older Asian couple choosing love over what their family wanted, they always end up being poor. It's always like, I came from a rich, noble family that I met your father, and I fell in love, and now we're dirt fucking poor. Yeah. It's like, well, bad choice, mom. What the fuck?
And then they look at each other, and we don't love each other anymore. Fuck.
I know. It's like, you at least should have chose the money then. Fuck, man.
Yeah, there's always an element. Well, here's what I think it is too. It's because you're dealing with a developing country, and their dating world is different from a country that's like first world problems, right? Like in our country, women have more, I guess, like freedom and being able to work and earn a living for themselves and do all this stuff, and we live fairly pretty well compared to these other countries, and so like they have the freedom to like earn on their own, and they're like, I want something from a man that I can't get on my own. I want affection. I want all that. Like, I want company in that way. But I can make my own money. So like there's more of an independent, strong woman kind of mentality here, right? Mm-hmm. Even though some people are like, yeah, I want to eventually get married, but they still don't do it for like, how do I get out of poverty, or how do I get into this like rich family? Like I feel like that is very secondary. Women look for a partner that they love and they want to be with, and then if he just so happens to be rich, what a win-win situation.
Yeah.
You know? At least that's the facade, or at least that's the narrative that people want to believe in the States, right? But out in Asia, people are boldly like, nah, dude, like I want a rich husband. I want a better life. I want this. Oh, he's got a passport? Fuck yeah. I want to be American. Take me to America with you. And it's, it's just different. I'm just like, wow, like this is.
Do you feel like that kind of, because it's funny because I think when people listen to that, they go, oh, that takes away what marriage is actually supposed to be about. But actually, that is originally what marriage was for.
It is. You're right.
That was the actual reason. It was a binding contract, and it was for wealth purposes. It was to see what you could offer somebody and take away and build family wealth.
Dude, my friend was going to take me to a party like the first weekend there. I fucking fell asleep early. And then he was like, man, it's fucking easy to get pretty company out here. And I'm like, really? Like, he's like, yeah, man, you just go up to, any of these girls, you hit it off, and then you say, hey, man, I'm going to be going to these freaking, like, resorts and whatever. If you want to come along with me, I mean, you could do that here.
But there's no weird stigma about that shit, right?
Yeah. But, I mean, I'm sure it's out there, too. But what I realize is they're more socially liberated than Asian Americans here. And that blew my fucking mind. Because out there, you could be like, yeah, so I'm going to do these trips. You want to roll? And then they'll be like, fuck yeah, let's fucking roll. And you party with them, fuck, whatever, hang out. And this, don't get me wrong, they do the same shit here, right? But I don't think it's as common and as frequent.
Yeah.
Whereas out there, they're like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's fucking go. Let's roll. Let's fucking stay at these resorts. It's almost like you got groupies and shit. And then they'll be your company for like, during that time. So you get, it's almost like, but out here you got to have money. It's like the status is different, right? So I know there's a lot of rich dudes that are mega rich that are bringing girls on their yachts, and they're like, all they got to do is like, yo, man, I'm going to be going to fucking Miami. You girls want to come? Let's do it. But the level of stardom and money and game just has to be way more.
Yeah. Over in Vietnam, you could be like Joe Schmo, but it's like you have some cash. It's like, yo, let's go party. And they're like, I'm down. Let's go.
Yeah. Well, out there, we're not Joe Schmoes. I think that's the difference, right?
Okay.
So out there, like, I think my value as a human being just became higher because the passport thing, because like I'm hanging out with celebrities or whatever. But at the same time, I saw guys do this. Like after, I didn't believe it at first. And then later, like we would meet, like either expats, like or Vietnamese Americans or Vietnamese Australians or whatever, guys that are just hanging out there. And then I'd witness this firsthand. They'll just meet a girl and they'll be like, da-da-da-da-da, bam, they're with them. Dude, I had this one, it was just fucking crazy, man. Like, fuck it, never mind. I'm not going to open that story up because he might be listening.
That's fucking crazy, man.
Yeah, but it to me, I didn't realize how easy it was. And then he was like, you should open up Tinder. That's how I met my girl. And I'm like, are you serious? You're going to find some wholesome girls? And his girl was really wholesome. She's really fucking cool. She's not a hooker or anything like that, you know? But my impression of Tinder is like, it's a hookup thing.
Yeah, you go to hook up, yeah.
You hook up. No one's there for serious game or whatever. It's all hoes or whatever. I don't know. I never got on, so I had a stupid ass idea about it. He goes, you just fucking try it. And I open it and I try it and I get crazy hits. Like, he's like, fuck, dude, that's a lot. Like, and then all these girls want to fucking talk to me. And then it was kind of cool because it's like, oh, girls don't even know they're not groupies. They don't know anything about JK. They don't know anything about what I've done. They just want to get to know me. So they find me attractive. That's fucking dope. But as I'm talking to them one by one, I'm like, you're fucking cute, but you have no substance. You're fucking cute, but like, I mean, yeah, you don't really need substance to chill, but I don't want them to come on vacation with me.
Yeah.
Or like some of them, their English isn't that good. And immediately when they ask for my Instagram, right, they'll go, oh, wow, you're famous. Give me a shout out. Oh, wow, you're famous. Can you teach me how to be famous?
Oh, what the
fuck?
fuck?
Wow. Like they immediately just fucking go in for the kill. They ask boldly for shit like that. They're like, oh, are you rich in America? Are you this and that? Like it kills the fun for me because it feels like they're hoes and I'm a pimp, or like I'm a guy I'm a trick. I'm like paying for them.
Yeah.
And it's like they're gaining me like
Yeah.
a gold digger. Like I felt really weird about it. And I mean, it all depends on what kind of guy you are, right? Like me, I like intellectual like back and forths. I like flirting. I like the chase. I like a lot of things that kind of build it up.
Yeah, I mean, you're also at a different place in your life now. Because if that's the case of what we want, if I just wanted somebody to just fuck around with just because whatever they get some type of high of being off a Z-list YouTuber, number one, I'm already questioning your credibility as a person. I'm also just
like me.
Yeah, me. I was like, dude, you should really shoot for the stars, bitch. Like that's the dick that you're gonna suck. Come on, man.
Yeah,
like
you're aiming low, girl.
Exactly. Like I'm already judging you at that point, right? So for what we find attractive now too, especially for me, like I like women who are strong, independent, and can handle their own.
Yeah.
Right? Doesn't mean that I won't do nice things for the person that I'm with.
Yeah, and if I wanted a transaction, I'd get a hooker.
Exactly. It'd be way cleaner.
Yeah, but I don't want that. You know what I mean? Like I
don't want to talk to you.
I want to engage. Yeah. So because of that, like I actually, man, it was difficult, dude. Like it was the first time where I'm like, wow, like I never had genuine girls that don't know who the fuck I am, one after the other, whether it's the club, Tinder, all these things, find me interesting. Like there was one that was just like, I'm at the bar, she just comes straight up to me, fucking hugs me up. Well, I'm like, what the fuck? This is crazy, right? Just flirting with me and shit. And I'm just like, but it's weird. I think you're trying to take something from me.
Yeah.
And it's not because you're
Is it Vietnamese girl?
you want to get to know me. Yeah.
Is it hard to? I find it hard to find somebody attractive, not just because of the accent, but because I can't communicate with them well.
So that's a big thing. So
Yeah.
like I'll obviously like physically attracted. There'll be girls that are just like, wow, you're drop dead gorgeous. What the fuck, right?
Yeah.
And there was this one time I'm talking to this girl and we're on Google fucking Translate back and forth. It was kind of cute at first.
Yeah.
And then after a while, I was just like,
It's
fuck,
exhausting.
I can't do this, man. I can't keep going back fucking, yeah. And then, yeah, I mean, it's cute. And I'm like, all right, girl, I got to move on.
Yeah.
Like there's no chemistry here.
It just dies.
Yeah. And then my friend's like, just fucking touch her, man. Like, why are you being a fucking bitch? And I'm like, bro, I am past that stage. I've touched a lot of women.
Yeah.
You know, like I mean, not even to fucking brag. It's like there's a point where I'm fucking 35. I need more.
It's like been there, done that type of shit.
Yeah, I'm 30. I mean, I need more to feel like there's a stronger connection and energy, or it's entertaining at least.
Yeah.
Like I'm not trying to be in love. I don't know if people understand what I'm saying, because if I heard this when I was in my 20s, I wouldn't understand.
I was like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? The bitch touched you. Let's go fuck.
Yeah, but the thing is, once you achieve a certain level of connection with someone, then you just can't go back to empty connections, because it's not good enough.
Well, like I said, your value changes in what you find attractive too.
Right.
Also, too, I can't move past a Vietnamese accent, dude. I've been doing that accent for life. That shit would fuck me up. You want to go do my bed?
It's actually kind of cute. Dude, okay, so here's a lot of fucking crazy things about the Vietnamese culture from what I observed at the short time that I was in, right? So, like, I thought they were going to be conservative.
Oh.
I thought they were going to be more strict and all that, because most of my Vietnamese American friends are.
Different generation, though. That was like, you know what I mean? That when they came to the States then and what they went through then, now, completely different.
Yeah. And when I went over there, dude, like 2 out of 10 people had tattoos. A lot of people were tatted up. Like, and it's very common in the culture. Moms, kids, whatever, like people are tatted the fuck up, right? And they work regular jobs with it. It's not like a bad like stigma. But I'm pretty sure the Vietnamese American community, it's still a stigma to be tatted up all the time and everywhere. And
it's also because a lot of them came through. Well, obviously they were refugees and stuff.
Yeah.
But a lot of the Catholic religion fucking adhered to them really hard.
True. Yeah, that's true. So that probably culturally is just two different groups now, And another thing that shocked me was how Western and provocative the girls might have dressed, and no one's batting an eye. And I'm just like, what the fuck? These girls, man, I love it. Like booty shorts and all, very Western, just like LA girls and shit. And I wasn't expecting that. I really wasn't. I was expecting a more reserved and not socially liberal, and sexually liberated culture. I was like, what the fuck? This is blowing my mind.
That's fucking crazy, man.
Yeah.
Makes me want to be single and go there and see what happens.
It's an interesting experience, man. And I think also
I love you, Mariel. I'm just kidding.
Just not only the dating scene is so foreign. I think it's one of those places where the only thing Western or American about it is the clothing, maybe.
This podcast is brought to you by Away, baby. Away luggage, thoughtful luggage for modern travelers. Away luggage is the luggage of my choice. And I say this with the utmost confidence. It is actually my favorite luggage to carry on when I travel. I travel about 30% out of every month, every year, because I'm a traveling boy. Majority of the time, I'm going to use a bigger carry-on, and the Away travel bigger carry-on is the one that I use all the time. The compression straps are great. The wheels are amazing. It's super durable. Even though it feels like a soft plastic, it's so durable. I have mine in all black. It's sleek. It's modern. It looks great. And it could hold a lot of things, and you'd be surprised about the design of the Away luggage and how well it compartmentalizes the things that you need. It came with a laundry bag in it, and there's just a bunch of cool things that it comes with as well that a lot of luggages that I've had didn't really come with. Like, for example, let me just list a few things for you guys, all right? There's an optional ejectable battery to keep your phone charged, which is really important for me. A removable laundry bag to separate dirty clothes from clean clothes. Freaking cool. You just get the luggage, man. It's one of my favorite things to have, and you'd be surprised too. Also, with when you get luggage and you buy ones that aren't really good, you'll see how long it lasts. I've been using the Away luggage for a while now, and it works just as good as the first day that I got it, and I beat it up pretty bad. So that's my personal anecdote and my personal usage from it. So I love it. If you guys want to get the bigger carry-on, I think it's a good move for people who do travel every now and then. So check it out. For $20 off a suitcase, visit awaytravel.com/GeniusBrain and use promo code GeniusBrain during checkout, my friends. So one more time, for $20 off a suitcase, visit awaytravel.com/GeniusBrain and use promo code GeniusBrain during checkout.
And you get a true experience of so America has so much of an influence all over the fucking world, right? So no matter what, we're exporting culture, no matter what part of the world you're at. Vietnam, less than 1% of that country's tourism is Americans.
Oh.
So when you go there, nothing's catered to me.
Yeah.
I really felt like, oh shit, it's like
I'm in a foreign country.
It's a communist wonderland, bro.
Yeah.
It's like opposite world for us, shit ton of Russians and Chinese and former communist countries, and that's their vacation spot.
Yeah.
And I mean, there was French and Europeans, but I don't hear any Americans. When I heard them, I just tried to have a conversation with them. I started to miss English,
Yeah.
And I'm just like, whoa, dude, this is crazy. That's how I realized Americans can be so entitled and American centric, because no matter where we go in the world, there's a piece of us.
Yeah.
Because
of how domineering our presence is all over the world.
Yeah, and people understand us because of our Hollywood and we export American culture so much, and they're watching our news, so it's almost like they cater to us unintentionally.
Yeah.
Right. And then so when we go there, we almost expect the fact that everybody should kind of know English and all that. And then this is the first time where I'm just like, oh shit, damn, dude, we do run the world, but not here, man.
Yeah.
This is one place where like we don't have any power.
Yeah, that's the hard part for a lot of, I think, Americans when they go travel, and it's the stuff that we always see on Twitter. It's like the stuff that becomes really problematic is we're so used to being top dog that when we go into a country where we're not, we get offended that they don't know that we're top dog.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, well, why don't you know this? It's like when they speak English and they don't understand, they get frustrated. It's
Yeah.
like, well, imagine how frustrating it is for them that you go to their country and you can't speak the language. It's
Yep.
the other way around. You should be frustrated at your lack of ability to speak the language of the country.
Yeah.
But that's just kind of like how we're bred here. It's like America's number one. Everybody should know English, American English too.
Yeah.
I was on this. It was so funny too. Like American English is so different from like British English too. Like the things that they say. I was shooting the show. I can't say what it's about yet, but one of the cast members is British, and she would just say shit. I'm like, that's not English. Like, I don't know what the fuck you're saying, dude.
It's funny because they could understand us, but we can't understand them.
Dude, she would say stuff like, well, you know, when they're, so you have all these things ready for you, especially out there in the larder. And I'm like,
The Lada.
I was like, the larder? What's the larder? She was like, oh, the pantry. And I'm like, what the fuck? You know, there's words that I just never heard of before, like the larder. The larder is the pantry. And I found out the reason why a lot of American people can't do a British accent. Like my shit was popping when I was on set, but it's
you would
gone.
copy it?
Yeah, but now I haven't heard it in like 3 or 4 days. I completely lost it. Like the British English accent, the original English accent, depending on where you're from, she has like that classic one that we always imitate. They round their words in the front and pronounce all their consonants, and they open their mouths. So for us, when we speak, we kind of muddle our words.
Yeah.
Like British is like, we go hello, hello.
Hello.
It's all in the. So she was sitting there teaching me how to do a British accent.
Hello.
She goes, when you, she goes, I want you to say this. What are you going to have for lunch today? So even saying that, what are you going to have for lunch today?
They're throaty.
It's it's in the front of the mouth.
Oh.
And when I was
so they're throwing it from the top.
yeah, so it's really rounded, and the E's are really sharp, and they say all their consonants. And I was trying to speak like that all day. My fucking jaw got tired. It's exhausting.
Damn.
What are you going to have for lunch today?
Is that why their teeth's all fucked up?
Probably. But it was interesting. Like, I was talking to somebody else too. It wasn't a cast member. It was somebody else. But this person was from the UK, and they were talking about kind of like just how different it was. And this person was an older person, but they were talking about just how different things are here versus there, right?
Yeah.
Specifically food. Like our food and the amount of produce that we have when we're in California, I think we take that for granted because of how accessible it is for us, right? Because I saw this one thing that they were eating, and it, you know, British food I think has come a long way, like in terms of like innovation and what it tastes like. But if you saw the shit that it came from, dog, that shit is like my thing is like, yo, all these British white people, you guys stole all these spices and you chose not to use any of it. Like, yo, what the fuck was that about? How you gonna fucking pillage India and then come back with all this shit and never use any of your spices?
Did you know potatoes not even native to them?
Oh, potatoes aren't native?
No. So potato is from the New World. So it wasn't until like Christopher Columbus and all and everybody that started to come in, and then they got potato from the natives, and then they brought it back. So before that, you know, they only had like wheat and breads.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
and
like
potatoes like a huge fucking staple out there.
The potato is like half their diet.
You know, to me it's kind of remarkable how the Europeans in the cold survived.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, like, the more harsh your climate, like, you know, like the Inuit or whatever, it's hard to get food. It's hard as fuck. That's why their food is so bland, and you, what the hell can you grow out there? You can't grow shit, and then your winters are so damn long. You gotta figure out how to preserve and all that. So if you think about Europe as a whole, right? Like, there's not, well, spices and all that shit doesn't grow because all that shit comes from Southeast Asia. And the only thing they can do is cure their meats, salt shit, and they only got proteins and maybe, you know, bread.
Yeah.
And that's literally all their food.
Dog, I saw this shit. Have you heard of this shit called jellied eel?
You mean that canned
It's like
eel thing that they?
it's like lutefisk, right? But it's eel that's been gelatinized with the whatever the collagen that is within the eel.
Yeah.
And it's like this old English food that they eat, and it's jellied. It looks fucking disgusting. And so I asked this person, I was like, have you had jellied eel? She goes, it's absolutely delicious. And I'm like, bitch, you have lost your fucking mind. What you mean is delicious? And mind you, I love this person. Like this woman, I could be around for the rest of my life, and I love her. But when she said jellied eel is delicious,
Have you had it?
I've seen it before, and it looks bland.
Oh shit!
Right. So if you guys go on YouTube, you'll see this video of this spot that's like really well known for this mince pie, and they put like this parsley sauce over it, and they serve jellied eel. Now it sounds a lot better the way I'm explaining it, but if you see this video and you look it up, it looks like trash. And this man sitting there, he goes, well, he's like, my father was the first person to ever, serve all this stuff. And, they really, really liked it. And I was like, first of all, dude, that shit looks like depression food. And they still serve it the same way his dad made it like 60 years ago. And it looks like barf. And they fucking, before they close that pie up with the pastry, they fucking just dump a bunch of hose water on it and they clean it up and it's full of the steam. I was like, bitch, you season your food with water? Is that why your food tastes so bland? I'm like, damn, dude. Like British food back in the day sucked.
Steam? They said that like it's like
so before they bake it, they make this weird little mince meat with it and they put it into this pie tin.
Oh.
And they dump a bunch of fucking hose water in it and they close up the pie.
Do they just add salt? Is that all?
I guess. And I guess they're like, yeah, we put water in it so it steams and it cooks. But I'm like, it looks like you just seasoned it with water, dude. Fucking white people, dude. Use some salt. Use some fucking salt in your food, goddammit.
So when you had traditional, British food or whatever, like, was it way more bland and was it more mild and like, what was it?
I mean, I don't know. Like when I had that food, I mean, it's hard to say, right? So this like casserole, mince pies and stuff, which I don't know how like typical this is to like UK food, but it's like meat and potatoes, man, and it's so
That
bland.
seems
to
like
me.
that's all they eat out there.
Yeah.
Well, I do feel like the rest of the world doesn't have like strong flavor like America. Like even American white people food, right?
Yeah.
It's very fatty, very salty. Every time I go all over the world, it's never as intense as it is out here.
Oh, our portions are ridiculous here too.
Portions are huge. Like it's super salty or super fatty or whatever. And all over Asia, even in I guess like in Europe, I've only been to France, so I wouldn't know the other stuff. But they say French food is fattier, but I don't think it's as intense as American food.
Well, it's because it's fattier, but the portions are right. Because I understand what they mean fattier because there's a lot of butter in their shit. It's very decadent, but they're also not giving you a fucking 4-pound plate of whatever they're serving.
I see.
So I was watching this other podcast. I forgot who, but he's from like New Zealand, and he was talking about how in New Zealand, like he comes over here. He goes, I have a fast metabolism, but if I didn't, I'd be fucked.
Yeah.
He goes, because the portions here are ridiculous. He goes, I forget that when you order things here, just expect to be gargantuan, because he's not used to that shit.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
He's talking about nachos. He goes like, your nachos are ridiculous.
Yeah.
Here. He goes,
No
they're made for one person, but it should feed like 2 or 3.
That's true. Yeah, it's crazy because when I was out in Vietnam, the portions are much smaller. But
I saw those little fucking baby ass bitch stools you were sitting on, dude. How the fuck did you sit on that, dude? I would destroy those things.
Dude, you're gonna have a blast doing. It's all the baby chairs. Like they sell those for babies here. They're kindergarten chairs. You're gonna be. A lot of the restaurants are like that, dude.
When I travel to Vietnam, I'm going to bring my own chair, like one of those small portable ones. I have to because I'm so large.
I have one that's tied to a backpack.
That's tight.
You could just open it and then it turns into a chair.
Perfect because I saw that shit. I know for a fact I'm gonna break it, and I would feel terrible if I broke that little chair. So I have to bring like my own chair and carry it around.
You're gonna have a fucking blast, dude. I haven't. So for 12 days, I didn't eat the same meal twice.
Like there's so much food over there, dude.
That's the variety. Like that's what I love about Asia is there's so much variety, right? Like sure it might be similar, like noodle soup, but the variety is just endless.
Yeah.
And I still left not eating everything that I wanted to.
It depends on what region you go to too. Like
Yeah.
Vietnamese food is very varied. If you go to just even like the Vietnamese food that we have in the SGV, if you go to the OC, way different.
Yeah,
like
there's more variety.
Because the OC is very representative of Vietnamese cuisine because every spot in like the OC is different. Some spots would be like Nha Trang where they have like the seafood and shit, and the other spot is not. So it's like more pork based, and that's why I love the OC's Vietnamese food. It's so fucking good, dude.
And I was mind blown because in Vietnam, I think it's better.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's just kind of crazy because I don't know, man. There's something about it. I feel like the Asian taste buds too, the way that they run food out, even in Japan and everywhere, it's a little more toned down than out here. So same thing with like everything's saltier here. Everything's more whatever that, you know, like out there, it's not.
Yeah.
So yeah, I ended up like losing a pound or two, but then I felt better.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, man, I want to go back. So if you go back, I'm gonna go back too. I'll meet you there.
Like Vietnam is one of those spots too. Like I've always wanted. Like I grew up with the shit ton of Vietnamese people my whole life. That's why, you know, even when you met, you know, I knew a bunch of Vietnamese shit. It's because literally all the girls I dated were Vietnamese.
It's my top 5 favorite foods, like hands down. Vietnamese food is fucking amazing.
Like I'm eating Vietnamese food, if not 2 times a week or at least once. Like I have to. It's something I grew up with. It's like comfort food to me.
Yeah.
You know, at first when I first started off eating Vietnamese food, I was only eating like pho. And then I started, you know, expanding out into like hủ tiaos and then fucking bún riêu, you know.
I ate all that shit.
Yeah, you had all that shit. Man. You had like bun xeo.
I had it with snail. Bún riêu with snail.
That sounds fucking dope.
Yeah.
Like Vietnamese food is so varied. Like Mariel used to hate Vietnamese food.
Really?
Because she only had Korean pho. That fucking that disgusting shit.
They don't even boil like bones in that. I think
it's fucking whack, man.
Like water and MSG.
Korean pho is fucking whack. And so that was her perception of Vietnamese food. But then she had shit like bun xeo.
Oh wow.
You know, bun can. Like he had all this other shit she didn't really like, bun bail, and she fucking loved it. She goes, "This is Vietnamese food." I was like, "Yeah, man. Like you've only had pho, and pho is delicious if you have a good bowl of pho.
Yeah.
But if you're not like expanding out, then you're missing out on this whole fucking flavor spectrum, dude.
Mm-hmm.
The French's influence on Vietnamese food is unreal, dude. Like even a banh mi. Banh mi is a fucking French baguette with pate inside.
And they make it so fresh.
Yeah.
So fresh baked bread, everything every day. And the ingredients that they use so good because it's like farm to table.
Yeah.
But if you've never been to a developing country
window
before,
to table, dude, they fucking slaughter this chicken right in front
bro,
of
it's that.
Yeah.
You go to the fucking market and they have a butcher shop.
Yeah.
Meat all open.
Yeah.
Under the sun, flies all over that motherfucker. You're gonna see some shit where you're like, this might give me a stomach ache.
Did you get diarrhea out there?
I think I have what I call third world intestines.
Okay. This motherfucker fine. He's like, I'm okay.
Well, because right, so like, you know, like there's the gut biome, right? And I think like when you get introduced to a certain bacteria of that region, I've been to Southeast Asia like 4 or 5 times now or something.
You're fine after that.
Yeah, I probably had diarrhea when I went to Thailand and all this stuff before, but your just body memorizes it. I had bloating the first day, diarrhea like for like one shit. After that, smooth sailing. And people were like, don't drink the ice. You got to drink bottled water every single time. Don't drink the tap. Don't do this. Don't do that. And I'm all like, fuck it, bro. Fuck. If I die, I die.
Fuck it.
If I die, I die. I don't give a fuck.
You fucking lost your mind. I would never do that shit, dude.
You know what? I saw my friend do it, and I'm like, man, you've been here for 15 years.
You lived.
Survived. Yeah. If he was scared, because I mean, like, people in Tijuana, right? They'll say, don't drink the fucking tap, and the locals won't drink the tap.
Yeah.
That's a sure sign.
Yeah.
When I see the locals do it, I'm like, well, fuck, I just need the bacteria.
That's fucking.
But I had 2 friends who who were pretty much almost going to the hospital because the ice that they drank or whatever, and I'm like, you just got weak stomachs.
That's why I think you're just built as a different human being, dude. That's fucking crazy, dude. There's no way I'm going to Vietnam and be like, everybody's like, hey, only drink bottled water. You're like, man, fuck you, bitches. I'm gonna drink it. You fucking maniac.
Yeah, but also it's like my friends that are like expat Americans. They go to these fucking restaurants. They're fine.
Yeah.
You know, like they said that they don't even eat at places if a friend doesn't introduce them. So they don't do this thing where you're like, that place.
Yeah.
Because they're like, you don't know the rapport. You don't know if they're using mystery meat. Like some of them, they're just like trying to make ends meet, and they're just gonna do things, you know. But like, there's word of mouth, right? And then people are like, that place is good. You know, I know that family. Like, that's how people start, I guess, like finding places out there.
Yeah.
So if you see, man, I fucking ate bunryeo, fucking noodle soup at a tire shop, dude. Oh, and that place was so grimy. It's literally a fucking mechanic shop. So imagine a place by day, they do tire work on scooters, and at night it's a noodle restaurant. They just lay out big fucking what do you call those big pots?
Yeah.
They got the stock going. They just fucking set that shit up. And they set up tables and chairs.
People do that shit. It's literally their house, and then the front of their house is the restaurant.
Yeah, that's literally what it is.
Yeah.
And I had a roach crawl up my leg. I'm just eating food. I'm just kicking that fucker off. I don't give a fuck. There's flies, whatever, man. But that kind of shit will turn a lot of people off, I think.
That's the type of shit I want to go to, though, because I like that shit. Because it makes me feel like I'm out of my element.
Yeah, but the food's so fucking good. You're not focusing on the roach on your fucking toe.
That's fucking funny. I 100% agree. Are you gonna have a bunch of vlogs?
Dude, I got a lot, dude.
You were there for 2 fucking weeks, man.
I know. Yeah, I got about 11 days worth of vlogs. So, shit, I can't wait to get them out.
That's fucking crazy, man. You're just living it up, dude. This feels single and just going about traveling the fucking world,
I've
dude.
been trapped for 5 years, okay? I think I deserve it. I've been running a fucking company, giving my life to them first, so.
I cut out my white anchor, just fucking.
Yep. And it's fucking been the best.
It's interesting, though. I think, like, some people, when they take their breakups, like, some people take it very poorly, but some people take it in stride.
Like some people we know, yeah.
Yeah.
Sitting at home and fucking cry like a little bitch all day.
Yeah, well, it's like I think for you, like you've always been able to like compartmentalize your feelings and what's going on. It's like, okay, and it's not like for you when you broke up with her, it happened overnight. There was a process, there was a step to it, and then
yeah, we lived together for like almost 2 months after the breakup, and we cried together. We were there for each other. We were able to like ease out of the pain, you know.
Yeah.
And I think I was just ready to fucking be in charge of just myself.
I think you've been ready for a while, man. I think like even though for you, like you can you have this ability to cut out bullshit really well, but you do have a really big heart, so it's still very hard. There's like this want of, you know what you want to do, but you're also somebody else who just, you're not gonna watch somebody drown in front of you and not help them out. That's just not in your fucking blood, you know. I think to a certain extent it just became really detrimental to you, because you were giving up so much of yourself and not checking up on yourself, that you thought that, okay, well, I got all these people on my back, like not in that type of way, but you're carrying their weight.
Yeah.
And if you left them out, you would feel like a fucking, like a Chauncey ass motherfucker, you know?
Yeah, that's the thing, man, is I don't like to give up on people that I care about.
Yeah.
Right. And I felt that, you know, leaving or breaking up or whatever, I thought that was failing on the relationship and us.
Yeah.
But I'm super thankful that she brought it up and she realized it and she saw that it was inevitable, like it was just a downward spiral. Because I think just my personality is, I don't give up when I just go. I just go until it works.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's a stupid way to approach life.
Yeah.
Because you don't have an end game. You don't know when to say, okay, this isn't working. Like, I don't like to admit to it, because to me that's failure.
Yeah.
I just want to keep fighting until it wins. And then after that, I was like, that's exactly when my buddy from Vietnam, Danny Doe, he was like, hey man, like, I went through a similar situation. And he's like, come to Vietnam. And he's like, I've been trying to get you to come here in the last 10 years. I made a life for myself.
Then he's like, I have no friends out here. Please, somebody speak English to me.
He was one of the original members of JK, and he helped us like build a film team.
Oh, that's right. He's the one who did. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, man. So it was such a good story, because man, there's so much more we can talk about, but like, it's like he had to do what he had to do, and I think he's still fucking guilty about this, because for the first 4 days I was there, he would not shut the fuck up about it, and I was like, Danny, I accept your decision. It's been 15 fucking years, bro.
Yeah.
Like move on. And he's like, nah, bro, you don't understand. I felt bad. So basically, he was apologizing for the first 4 fucking days that he abandoned us.
So we did pretty well for ourselves.
He just kept making reasons why he had to move to Vietnam, and I was like, Danny, like, I think you're hurt more than I am.
Yeah.
Cause he's like, yeah, he's like, at the time, you know, like I felt like I was leaving you guys, and I'm not like that. Like I just, you know, I just had dreams of being a director. And I'm like, we accept it.
Yeah.
We moved on, you know, like, and so then I realized that I just got to let him talk. And every day he would bring
He
it
just
up.
had to
He would
get rid
talk.
of that guilt.
He had so much guilt. And that's when I realized that this is a really true friend that I did not appreciate.
Yeah.
Because I didn't realize how much it hurt him that he had to leave JK and create a life for himself. And he's doing really fucking well out there.
Yeah.
He did a feature film. He's doing another one this April. And he's working with this huge pop star out there named like Suntun or some shit like that. I forgot his name. But dude, like he's doing great. And I'm just like hella proud of him. But the amount of guilt that he was carrying, and he's like, I just wanted you guys, you and Bart, to come to Vietnam. And us, and you see like what, it was all worth it that I left JK to do this. And I'm like, man, it doesn't even matter, dude.
It's like, hey, Danny, it's like, I haven't thought about you once since you left. I was like, I only thought about you now because you hit me up. Other than that, I literally, if you died, I would have never known.
But he was in a toxic relationship too. And then, well, his ended up pretty bad in a way where like he got cheated on and all that stuff. And I was like, yeah, that's rough, man. But he's like, she's like, I know the right thing that you need. And then he brought me out, and this guy, he set everything up for me. I didn't have to fucking think.
That's his apology tour,
Dude, I literally walked in. He was my tour guide. He set up all the meals, everything. Like he thought of everything ahead. And I'm so fucking thankful, because that was the first time when I was able to just take a ride in someone's back seat. Because I'm always in control for something, you know, like whenever I'm vacationing or whatever, it's like someone's looking at me. Hey, what are we going to do next? What are we going to do that? Can you choose what the food or whatever?
Yeah.
Or like, what do you think? What do you think? People have to look at me and I have to make a decision. And I didn't realize like, oh, I wanted to be taken care of from time to time.
Yeah, well, that's what a vacation was. Like vacation was just always us trying to plan shit out. You know, it's like, fuck, man, I don't even want to do that. Sometimes I just want, like, I've been on set for 2 weeks. I've been on set for 2 weeks. Right when I got back, I just started unpacking, uncleaning, setting up this office. So it's like, fuck,
When
man.
can you get a break, right?
Yeah, it's like I'm, you know, I can't.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Thanksgiving is starting, so we got to rack up these fucking podcasts and, you know, which I like doing the podcast. It's just more along the lines of like, fuck, I got so much shit to get done. I can't even believe it.
For sure.
And I haven't really thought about like the time to really develop what we have to do in terms of like our personal lives.
Yeah.
And that shit has always been pushed to the wayside. And I think well, here's the thing too. Like I do understand there's a give and take, because when I don't work, I don't make money. And so when I chose not to work, it was when I was the most broke.
Yeah.
But then now that I've been working a lot more, being more proactive, like, you know, money is getting better now. Now I'm not sweating my ass off.
Yeah.
Because before I was
And
like,
it makes you relax.
yeah. it's like which stress do I want? The poor people stress, or do I want like not enough time stress?
Oh, man.
You know, because poor people stress was rough.
But when you take a little break, I feel like it's kind of like it makes me feel grateful about what I have back home. Because I take a break and I'm like, this is awesome. He goes, wait, it's all thanks to all the work that I put in that I can enjoy this. It's all thanks to the people that are listening. It's all thanks to all this shit. When you're in the fucking mix, man, you just like, it's hard to see that, right? But when you're outside looking in, you're just like, oh, I can't wait to get back and fucking come up with more shit. And then like, yeah, I think it's hella important. Kind of like you can't just keep working out. You gotta sleep. You gotta rest. You gotta take your breaks.
Well, I always talk about this, and I think this has been like a really good perspective that I've been taking on a lot of things. And when we were working on set, and there was this girl that I met there, and what I really liked about her too was like she's a very successful actress, right? But her route to her success was very long and arduous, and she was childhood actor, whatever. And things just didn't pan out for her the way that she did. So she finally popped off at like 36, 35, right? But people don't know she's been acting since she was 9 fucking years old.
Wow.
You know? And so for her, like I remember when we were shooting this, and well, she's already on like a couple of very successful shows. Like she's fucking really successful now. But when we were wrapping this up, she started tearing up. Like she was sad that we were wrapping up the show.
Because the food was so good.
Dog, don't even get me started on the food. But like she was sad, and I was like, why are you crying? You know, and she kind of said, she's just like, you know, I've been doing this thing for a long time. And she goes like, she goes, I'm just grateful that I get to do this. She goes, I know people who are actors and actresses that they have been putting in the work just as long as I have, and they still haven't caught their break.
Yeah.
But I caught my break, and now I'm doing a second and a third show, and now
It's all about perspective, man.
you know, for her. So she, even though that she's been through this process before of shooting a pilot, it still makes her very emotional that she could look around and say like, damn, I'm getting paid to do this. Like before I was doing the same thing and not getting paid, hoping that I get a fucking break. And it finally happened, and it keeps happening for me over and over now because now my foot's in the fucking door.
Yeah.
And that perspective of being grateful, even though you're getting to do what you do, if you take a step back and like, fuck, what else could I be doing right now?
Yeah.
Like I complain about small shit, but I never complain about the position that I'm in because I wouldn't be here if I didn't have these opportunities, you know. And I think that was so cool to see. Like when I look at her, I'm like, I'm trying to be where you're at.
Yeah.
But even for her, she feels even more gratitude than I did.
And that's a good person to kind of take the lead from, because what I noticed is it's so important to be around people that you want to share that energy with. Because man, you know, like I was very unemotional, so I didn't really pay attention to how the people around me can affect me. Because, you know, in my head, I'm like, well, fuck everybody. I think for myself, but I'm unaware of their influence that they have around me.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, I want to surround myself around people who are like either more grateful than I am, or if I notice someone that is being ungrateful, I limit the amount of time that I spend with him, and I limit the amount of time of trying to work on them to get grateful.
Yeah.
I think I spent way too much fucking time trying to fix other people.
Yeah.
For me, it's like, all right, fuck that, dude. I just got to work and figure out who are the people that I want to spend more time with, and who are the people that are like really grateful, and everyone else, like I'll be there for them, but they got to fucking get to my level. I'm not going to boost them up anymore.
Yeah. I think there's a point that we have to find. It's like, how much can I be quote unquote a good friend by definition in terms of me trying to be there for somebody, to the point where the other side is like, how much can you take from me before I snap?
Yeah.
Because when I think like that's what happens to a lot of like, I think because you and I also both grew up in a religious family.
Yeah.
I think putting other people's needs before ours is just natural for us.
Yeah, because it's kind of sinful to be selfish.
Exactly. So for us, when we do that, it does make us feel good that we could help these people. That's the trade-off that we get. But there's this point of no return where you're just like, oh shit, now I'm being drained every fucking day.
Because you become a pastor.
Yeah. and that's what happens.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit. You know, and I always tell my really close friends, it's like, yo, always hit me up when you need something. I'll be there. And if I get exhausted, I'll let you know. But let me find that medium for myself. You don't have to worry about that because I want us to be good friends.
Yeah.
If I say like, hey, I can't help you out on that right now, it's because I'm emotionally exhausted and I wouldn't be any help for you because I can't respond.
You might even take your frustration out on them.
Exactly. I don't want to fucking do that.
And he'll be like, you know what? This is a perfect opportunity to tell you, shut up. You're fucking stupid.
Yeah. I don't want to be the shut the fuck up, your problems aren't nothing type of friend.
Yeah.
You know? So if I'm emotionally
that's the truth though, in most cases it's nothing.
Yeah, we do have a lot of problems that are absolutely fucking nothing, and most of the time we just need somebody to listen.
Yeah.
But I got to be mentally prepared to listen because if I'm not at that point, then you're just gonna get shit from me, and I don't want to be that friend. So it's like, you know, we have to really find and balance that out. And I think for us this year, we're finding that, you know, we're giving a lot now, and for us, we need that time to just kind of do our own thing and, you know, enjoy what we're doing. Like I think this podcast was a really good move for us because it's our own thing.
Yeah.
It's fun too, you know, and we're watching this grow constantly. And it's been a really good blessing too, because I've always been doing the short format stuff without being able to fully explain myself. And that has been the weird thing. It's like, oh, yo, people like long content. They do. And I'm glad that people actually like long content now, because before it was like, how do I get a 3-minute video out and tell my perspective on this?
It's too limiting, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the whole point is like, you got to do what your personality is best at doing, and you can thrive in that, and you can express yourself the best way possible. Because for some people, that 3-minute mark might be really good for them. Or like, you know, we got the Vine kids and whatever, like the Instagram story kids, right? Like they're really fucking good at that.
Yeah.
So people just got to like get in where they fit in. And I like this too. Like I like talking for long ass periods and just going off on crazy rants and shit like that. So
yeah, I think that's like I think I think that's why the podcast shit works really well for us. Because before, man, I was like, fuck, man, I can't really explain myself. Like, I need to say my shit. Fuck. Well, that actually wraps this episode up. Speaking of talking fucking long. But anyways, guys, that's this episode of the Genius Brain Podcast.
Thank you very much.
Remember, every Thursday and Sundays we're up. If you guys want us to talk about certain topics, leave it in the comments below.
Oh, yeah.
And then you can catch us on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher. Remember, this podcast, we just talk about anything and everything. We don't really have like direct topics, really. Depends on what we think about at the time. But we're just here to be with you on your commute and your everyday lives. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see y'all next time.
Goodbye.
Shit.